And welcome back to Nomadic Striker with Inter Miami in the Bending It with Beckham save. So there's going to be a weird little section now where we go back in time to past me. So I was playing this last night. I was just trying to get through to the start of the season. Um, and then I came across this thing called an expansion draft, which we were part of with Nashville. So briefly, back to past me, and then I'll be back with a bit more about what's going on. So go and enjoy the draft. Hello, and welcome back to the middle of the night. So keeping it quiet. But we just got into an expansion draft, which I don't really know anything about apart from us in Nashville are taking part in it. And we've, first round, we picked this guy, who I think looks alright. And they then picked Mauro Manotas, who doesn't look great. So there's a lot of players on this list, like 150. And there's a few players like Chris Wondolowski, who I've heard of. I mean, he was at San Jose and didn't play last year, so he can't be that good. So we've picked a striker already. Let's try and find a defender. This guy looks okay. Poor last year though. Roger Espinosa, I've heard of him. And the other option we have is my assistant's pick, Alejandro Guido. He looks dreadful. There's a few teams after him. He did alright for. I'm going to go with my assistant. We need a midfielder. So he reckons Keegan Rosenberry. Nah, we're not buying him. Bojan. We've got to pick Bojan, right? We've got to pick him, even if he's no good. So one of my requirements is to sign high-profile players. Benny Feilhaber is high-profile for the MLS, so we're going to go for him. We have one more pick. Egan Rosenberry. I think he said him last time. No. Josh Williams. He doesn't look bad. I'm going to go for this guy because we need a left back. That is our expansion draft done. And they pick up Walter Zimmerman, who I believe played for Toronto, won the MLS. No, played for LFC. Badly. I sent loads of scouts out to look at players. So that's the expansion draft done. He doesn't look great. Josh Williams. He looks okay. Guido. He looks probably the best one so far. So he's a starting midfielder. Bojan. Star player. Oh, done a great signing. Excellent. Benny Feilhaber. And he just adds experience. I think he's probably going to start. So as I say, we've just gone out and scouted loads of players who've either been released or have been in youth intakes. So there's going to be a lot of scouting to do right now. So the good news is we've got Bojan into the club. So that's exciting. And we're back to the present. So there's a lot of drafts going on because we're a new team. There's a lot of weird stuff I don't really understand, but it's happening. So we're just going to crack on and kind of figure it out as we go. So we are now officially in pre-season with Inter Miami. We have just had our fixtures come in. So on the opening day, we will be at home on the first day of the season against FC Dallas. So our first ever match for Inter Miami is at home. And then the final day, we don't have any rivals, so there's not many fixtures on here. So final day, we're up against Colorado Rapids, also at the new Lockhart Stadium at home. So first 5 games, FC Dallas, New England, I think who were towards the bottom of the league last season, Chicago Fire, Houston Dynamo, and LA Galaxy. So plays with valid MLS rights held by Inter Miami Recap. The following players currently contracted to non-MLS clubs can potentially join MLS exclusively with Inter Miami, upon a fee being agreed with their current club. So basically, we can go in and nab any of these players that we want, if they're any good. So I will briefly check if they're any good or not. An update, they were all terrible. So I'm not going to say any of those. They were all being scouted, but we will leave it to our scout. I think they're all rubbish. We have been awarded a general allocation money fund of £3 million as the yearly grant from the league. This fund is higher than usual, as this club just joined the league as an expansion team. So our total allocation money is now £3 million, even though we gained 3.03. That's weird. Any leftover money will be halved if not used within 3 seasons. So we have to spend this money. Targeted allocation money increased. MLS has awarded the club an extra 930k. This can be used to sign high-profile players to improve the reputation of the league. Interesting. It's used to buy down the salary cap of a designated player. I don't understand any of this stuff, so we'll ignore that. Inter Miami forced to spend general allocation money. Inter have spent 880k out of the general allocation money to buy down the cap impact of the following 3 players who exceeded the maximum cap impact. Juan Agudelo, Will Trapp and Bochan, who we just signed. You'll have seen we just signed him. And their ability assessment has gone down on him. So he was 4.5 stars a minute ago. It's possible to buy an extra designated player slot at a cost of 116k. The extra slot to be purchased will be valid for the duration of the 2020 season. It should also be noted that clubs will not have to buy the third DP roster slot to accommodate a young designated player. So I went and looked at my squad, and it looks like we only have 2 designated players at the moment. So I think we should probably get that one, just in case. 2020 MLS Super Draft first round mock draft. This is helpful. So this tells us the players that are going to be in the draft that are recommended as being good. So Nashville get the first pick, and they reckon this guy is the best, and then this guy. So it looks like we're working with not very good players, is what I surmise from that. And so from this, it looks like Nashville actually have 2 first round picks, as do Vancouver, and we get the second round pick. But New England have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. New England have 8 picks in the first round. But judging from the quality of the players, there doesn't really seem to be much of an advantage, to be honest. So we get 2.8 million in MLS TV rights, and Inter Miami have the option of forming a new second club to compete in the USL Pro from next season. As part of the process, a coach will need to be delegated to manage a newly created team. Who should we put in charge? Let's put Valderrama in charge. I hired by Carlos Valderrama. There we go. We have decided to establish a new second club. We've announced the formation of Inter Miami 2 as a new team to help the development and growth of our younger players. The new club will participate in the season USL Pro and will play home matches at the new Lockhart Stadium. So we have 59 days until the first game of the season, and the scouting has now been upgraded to worldwide. That's a bit strange. We've had friendlies arranged against teams that are already in our league, so we're playing Orlando, San Jose, and loads of our players are out of contract at this end of this year, but I'm not going to worry about that for now. LAFC want to trade, offering 900k from the allocation money, plus their third round pick, and their third round pick in the 2022 draft. So they want my second round pick. I mean, we've seen how bad that draft list was. So this could be worthwhile, because next year we might get better regens coming through. I am tempted by this. So they reckon, and even with this guy, they reckon he's the top pick. And he would be our 6th best midfielder. I'm going to take it. So here's our dynamics. Trapp is a team leader. Ngoyin Bizarro replaces Agudelo, Powell, Betty, File Harbour. That's influential players. A new kit deal. A new shirt sleeve deal. So in terms of finances, we're on 13 million balance. We had more than that before. I presume that's because we're a new club and it's to do with MLS rules. But so our competition expectations review is in. This is what the board want me to achieve. Failing to meet one or all of these expectations could make your position at the club untenable. So Major League Soccer reached the first round. So that means we need to get into the playoffs? Not really sure. Sports Shield top half. That's top half of the league then. Lamar Hunt US Open Cup reached the semi-final. That could be interesting. Oh, we have a new intake of youth players. The following players have been promoted to your academy team. Whilst it remains very early in their careers, these players, led by the very gifted Mike Hardcastle, who sounds very British, have a real chance of developing into a golden generation. I like to think I had a notable influence in bringing through many of the players, including Tom Smith, not at the club. Why have they all left? So confused. If they've been promoted and then left. We have no youth players. That's good. I mean, luckily none of them are that great. None of those players were in our youth team at any point. So strange. New England Revolution are interested in a trade into Miami, involving one international player slot. New England are asking for 115k. Sounds like a terrible deal. All these trades, like most of them are rubbish. Terrible deals. So again, towards draft time. Today we saw the MLS Player Combine, which if you've ever seen the American football drafts, they kind of go in and scout all these players. So the MLS Player Combine started today, saw some of the best prospects involved in the forthcoming draft, participating in physical testing and interviews. And they're going to play a few matches as well on the side. First physical test was all about speed. Tamba Cisse was the best player overall. He's got 13 pace, so that doesn't bode well. Pedro Aguilar, he's not great. And Philip Bednarski. No. David Hilton led the way in the agility. Blah, blah, blah. Don't think any of these are going to be any good. And we signed Jermaine Jones as Inter Miami 2 manager. Obviously, the ex-USA international. This is interesting. In the player combine, Team Tango, 0. Team Predator, 0. Team X, 3. Team Nemesis, 1. So we signed a player. We've got a left back in. He looks alright, I think. And we are back for the 2020 MLS Super Draft. The draft consists of 4 rounds, 192 players available. We have the 28th pick because we gave up our second round draft to LAFC, I think it was. So let's see who gets picked. So Nashville get the first pick and they've signed Oscar Alachon. He looks alright. Decent young prospect. Cincinnati are number 2. They get Scott Sagafi. None of these players look great. So we're going to skip to our next pick. So we're in the second round now. New York City went 3rd and they picked up a goalkeeper who doesn't look great. So we can ask our assistant who he thinks we should pick. Henry Petitjean is the best player who is still undrafted, and he looks average. He's got good potential. Chris Campbell would be a good prospect. We do kind of need a striker, but I'm not sure he's going to fit the bill. 3-star potential, not worth it. Henry Petitjean, I think he had. So we are going to go with Henry Petitjean. Mainly because I like his name. Henry Petitjean. So he is now our pick. So we skip to our next pick. Dean Sanchez. I mean, he looks okay. Just between this guy and the other guy who wasn't. Pat Moreno, was it? I mean, he played quite well for the under-23s last year. I think we're going to take him. So this is our third pick. Dean Sanchez, he was the striker. So we're going to go take this guy. And I mean, these guys can all go into our second team, can't they? So it's not a disaster if we don't get anyone good. So this is our fourth round. Let's see what our assistant's saying. Jeff Monday Hadler. Jose Francisco Morales has not been picked. He looks alright. We'll take him. We must be getting fairly close. I think we're done. So that's how it's done. There we go. The draft is complete. And now we have to go and give them contracts. So I have to give him £850 a week. So there we go. There's our 4 draft players in. Super 2020 Super Draft grades. Interesting. I felt ours is going to be very low because we kind of gave up our picks. But let's see. Full rankings are as follows: Philadelphia A+, DC United A+. So Philadelphia, DC, Columbus, Atlanta all A+. Nashville, New York, no, Colorado B. Where are we? Inter Miami C. I'll take that. We picked up a few decent players. Inter Miami picked Moreno. Pat Moreno. Inter Miami picked up Morales. Jose Francisco Morales, who is not great. He's going to go to the second team. Henri Petitjean. I think he's actually got loads of potential. So that's a good signing. And Dean Sanchez has decent potential. So he could be good. He's probably going to be like a 3rd choice striker. So just to give you some idea of our interested shortlist. So Joe Hart is top of it. Morgan Gibbs White is interested. But we're not going to get him. One interesting option could be Mix Discord, who obviously came from, I believe he used to play for NYCFC. So he could be available for loan, which would be interesting. So we can't actually afford him at the moment. Some exciting news that we've announced our squad numbers. Obviously, it was all previously unassigned because we had no squad numbers before, because we didn't exist. The main numbers: Agudalo number 10, Bojan gets 9, and Pizarro 8. If you're interested, then there's squad numbers, which means the season is very close. We're having a slight issue with getting players registered, so I'm trying to buy down their contracts. Basically, our contract is currently too high. Our contract's currently too high, so yeah, that's a work in progress. But we should be close to the start of the season. And welcome back. We are finally almost on the verge of a first game for Inter Miami. I've already racked up, I just checked, I've just already racked up 11 hours of gameplay, and we've not even played a match yet. It's the day before, it's the 28th of February, we're up against FC Dallas in the first game of the MLS. Manic Striker set to make his managerial debut when Inter Miami take on FC Dallas at New Lockhart Stadium on Saturday. And we are actually the favourites, 6-4. Talkative manager and a Manic Striker. They have a popular manager in Luchi Gonzalez. So our left back's out, which is not ideal. So we're going to go to our first press conference. We're in Richmond match. Yes, they are. Quick real statement. I hope so. Our West is crucial because we know the right backs. We're working hard. He's on loan for another year. Doesn't really matter. Yes. We've let Lewis Morgan go because he doesn't fit into our system. And we've basically tried to get trades for the next 2 drafts. 20 players that weren't first or second choice in their position, I basically let them go if anyone came in with a bid. And some good news, we bring in David Platt as a coach. So we've also got Valderrama, Patrick Anderson as a scout, and Bernd Schneider on our staff. Next week we have games on Thursday and Saturday. That's a bit strange. Okay, so it's the day of the first game of the season, so we have to submit our roster for the season. So any players that don't register will go on the waiver list, which, as you can see there, loads of players being waived. I think we're good. I've worked really hard to get this salary down, and at the moment we are 1,000 below our salary limit, so we're in good shape. And here we are, it's game day. We're in Miami. Big Dave's up in the crowd watching his new team finally playing their first game at home, and it's Inter Miami against FC Dallas. Okay, so it's now game time. It took a long time to get through this day. They're all being played at different times through the day, so it took forever to get to this point. But here we are. It's 7:30 at New Lockhart Stadium, and we're good to go. Inter Miami versus FC Dallas. I think we're going to go with this today. So this is the new formation I've come up with, which I think gets the best out of the players we've got available to us. I'm not overly convinced about these roles, but I'm going to try them for today. Let's just have a look here. We don't want to do that particularly. Do we want to overlap? Yeah, we'll do that. I'm not sure about direct. I think we're going to start narrow. And we're favourites, right? Let's go positive. I'm not sure we really want to do that. Maybe try that. So we're good to go. So I'm just going to give you an introduction to the team before we kind of jump into the first game. So in goal, we've got Luis Robles, 35-year-old goalkeeper. He's okay, not great. Right back, we have Alvaz Powell. He's our number 1 right back. As you can see, he's not the best, but he's okay for this level, I think. It's like 16 pace. He's got good, decent physicals. The rest we'll ignore. Figal's probably our best defender. He's actually fairly solid. Argentinian, I believe. Centre-back, previously been with Independiente before coming to us. And he's playing alongside Andre Reyes, the Colombian centre-back, who has a lot of potential, so I'm going to try and give him some time as our second centre-back. Left back today, we've got Andre Correa. I've just signed him. He's the only player I've bought for money. We brought him in for 100k because we needed a backup left back, and that's because Ben Sweat got injured just before the first week of the season. He's out for like 6 days with the flu, but he is our starting left back. Midfield, our top midfielder is Will Trapp, apparently. So he's been with Columbus Crew before trading to Miami. And then we're going with 3 in midfield. So we've got Ulloa, who's more of a holding midfielder. I'm going to play him as a ball winner, I think, in midfield. Because I don't really want to drop someone in here because then the midfield looks really weird with the 2 behind, 2 there. But alongside them, we've got Guido, Alejandro Guido, who is an average midfielder. So we picked him up in the expansion draft, which was the weird thing I showed you right at the top of this video when it was 2 in the morning. He looks okay, he's a decent option in there, but the best players are the front three. So Rodolfo Pizarro is our best player. He's going to play in behind the striker. Inter Miami signed him for 9.25 million from Mexico, so should be expecting a lot out of him. And alongside him today, we've got Bojan, who isn't the best physically, but mentally and technically is pretty decent for this level. So I'm kind of hoping that that will be enough. Obviously, ex Barcelona, ex Milan, ex Ajax, ex Stoke City. So he's kind of got the know-how. And up front is Juan Agudelo. I think he's a decent striker at this level. Interestingly, he is a nomadic striker, which I love that he got him up front. So he's always played in the US, New England, then Toronto. Didn't actually play for Toronto by the look of it before coming to Miami. And actually starting 11. Other players to look out for are this guy, Julian Carranza. So he was on loan when we first came in, and he was out on loan last season. But he has a lot of potential in him. And he shoots with power as well, which I like. So he's out on loan in Argentina last year. He's got 18-16. So you've got Benny Feilhaber on the bench, obviously former USA international, 40-odd caps. So he's there for a bit of experience. This guy looks very good. Matthias Pellegrini, another Argentinian. He's actually a winger, but we're training him up to play in here as a shadow striker. So he's going to be the backup to Bojan. And hopefully we can get him some game time. He's coming from Estudiantes. I went back there on loan last year and played pretty well. And then there's Ngoyen, who I think is still pretty decent. He's 33. He's going to be a backup attacking midfielder. I think he should be able to do a job for us. He's coming from LAFC, who bought him for like 500k. He played really well in the minor leagues last year, actually. And then Robbie Robinson his potential just suddenly leaped. So we're going to play him in the reserves a bit and then see if he kind of progresses or not. But those are the main guys to look out for this season. So with no further ado, let's crack into the first game of the season. So we're on the intro page. The first game of the season is a breezy 27 degrees in Miami. In goal we have Robles, Powell, right back, Figuel, Reyes, centre back, Correa, left back, Trapp, Ulloa, Guido in midfield with Pizarro and Bojan in behind Agudelo. Don't really recognise anyone in the Dallas team. So first team talk is Inter Miami boss. What do you say in your first ever match? Show me what you can do. Let's tell them that they can make a difference. Got some responses out of them. It's been a quiet first 10 minutes. Dallas have had one shot. We've not had an attack by the look of it. They are dominating possession. Now we've got the first highlight. Agudelo's been robbed. They put it all the way back. Pico shoots push wide. Oh, we've still not had a shot after half an hour. And half time in our first match is into Miami, boss. It's not been the most exciting, guys. We've had 0 shots. They have had 7. We have 40% possession at home. Struggling for possession. Poor touches to shots. I mean, we've not had a shot, so let's just say we're not happy. Can we see something else out of them in this first half? Second half. It started much the same, but here we go. Guido, Ulloa, Guido again, out to Powell, and he's been robbed. And they're going to counter, are they? Going it? No, they haven't. Out to Pico, and they scored. Ah, shit. Mosqueda. We don't want to see that. Pizarro and Bojan are really struggling. At least we've got a shot in this half. Right, we made a couple of changes. Can we make something happen? Ulloa to Guido into Bojan. Powell. There is our first goal as Inter Miami manager. And it's Alvaz Powell, the right back, who's grabbed it. The ball comes out, he tries a shot, then he smashes it left footed into the bottom corner. Try and get something out of them in the last 5 minutes. Oh, we got an injury. Bollocks. About to make a sub then as well. That is annoying. We do not have a right back on the bench. So this guy's going to have to come on. He can kind of play here a bit. We're going to go balanced. 6 minutes of injury time. Guido's picked up a knock as well. No, maybe got a chance. Oh, he scored! Is it? It's a goal. I thought the linesman had stopped. Oh, he nicked it. What is he doing taking that free kick there? Rodolfo Pizarro. I was about to take him off when Powell got injured. Luckily, I didn't. And he scored. Guido picks up player of the match on the first game for Miami. Dallas are going to be furious because he scored in the 97th minute when there should have been 6 minutes of injury time. They're not going to be happy with that. But that is a great comeback. We're off the mark with a win. Get in. It's been a long time coming, but we're off the mark. We're up in the playoffs. It's 1 win out of 1. Miami come from behind to win. Inter Miami were in fine form. They got a 2-1 win. Miami's power was forced off. Pizarro then gets a late win on 97 minutes. Pizarro's impact delighted the fans with his late goal. So Powell's out for 3 to 4 weeks. Guido 1 to 2 days. What is this? I don't want to do that. Okay. Level of spirit. Yeah, of course there is. I think there should be more time added on. Of course there should. It was a great match. We're all delighted for ours. Debut's never easy, but he did okay. I'm very pleased with Guido. Very pleased. And there you have it. We've had our debut with Inter Miami. You've seen a bit of what's going on with the weird little transfer systems. Got a few players in the draft. The expansion draft has worked out really nicely because one of the players we picked up got player of the match in our first game. So there you go. We've won at the drafts, maybe. Yeah, if you enjoyed that, if you're enjoying the Miami save so far, if you're excited to see more of what we're going to do with Inter Miami, then hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with you shortly. So thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.